Ming Shi Yin's heart skipped a beat. Does Master have spiritual eyes, through which he has seen and learned everything? How is that possible? His cultivation base was profound, and if anyone was spying on him, he would have found out. Master, we really didn't talk about anything else. Ming Shi Yin knew very well that he could admit anything, but he must hide his rebellious thoughts at all costs. When he heard that, Zhou knew Ming Shi Yin would not give up easily. So he shook his head and said, "Forget it. Since you don't want to tell me, I'll not force you. You've done a good job this time. Go help your third senior brother fix the arrays. If I have any needs, I'll summon you." "Yes, Master." Ming Shi Yin looked to the left and then to the right. Yet he saw no signs of little Yuaner. He was about to leave, but he stopped and asked, "Where is little junior sister?" "It's none of your business." "I understand, Master." Zhou picked up a book he found in Evil Sky Pavilion from the tea table and began reading it. He had nothing else to do. But Ming Shi Yin did not leave right away. Zhou glanced at him, reconfirming that his loyalty had indeed declined. This guy is harboring ill thoughts. Is he going to sneak attack me like Zhou Jifeng? But why should I be afraid when I have critical block cards and peak form experience cards? Ming Shi Yin, have you got something else to say? The disciple walked back and went down on his knees as he cupped his fist and said, "Master, I've cultivated the Bluewood technique to the last level, but no matter how hard I cultivate it, I just can't comprehend the essence of the last level. I hope Master can give me some guidance." "He is testing me." Zhou knew that was because Ji Tiandao had deliberately not taught all the scripts of the Bluewood technique. If he gave it to Ming Shi Yin now, it would not take him long to break through with that talent of his. And in that moment, he would be in danger. Thinking that, he cleared his throat and said, "O Fourth, impatience is the biggest taboo for a cultivator. Behind every almighty expert is hundreds of years of boring meditation and hardship. I remember your last breakthrough was just 60 years ago. Why are you in such a hurry to scale to a higher level? Moreover, it is your perception you have to rely on when you approach the bottleneck. Your perception is good enough, but you must not go astray and become impatient." Ming Shi Yin bowed and said, "Master, thank you for enlightening me. I was a fool to not see that." Then he lifted his head and continued, "Master, there's a fist style which I can't seem to use correctly. I hope Master can give me some guidance." "Ugh." Zhou's eyes rested on Ming Shi Yin's face. He must have heard some slanderous words from Old Eighth and grown suspicious. So he has come back to test me. Zhou had no tricks up his sleeve now, and he could not use the precious peak form experience card just to demonstrate a fist style to his disciple. But if he refused, it would only aggravate his disciple's suspicion. So how was he going to guide Ming Shi Yin? He was only in the mystic and lightning realm, and his disciple was a divine court expert. It was like asking a child to teach an adult. "Master?" Ming Shi Yin urged. Zhou asked, "Which part can't you use correctly?" "I feel I can't bring out the strongest power of this fist style. It feels stuck somewhere as I use it." While nodding, Zhou said, "Show me how you practice it outside the gazebo." "Yes, Master." Ming Shi Yin rose to his feet slowly, his blue robe and long hair giving him an enchanting look. Just as he stood up straight, he lightly kicked the ground and flew out as swiftly as a swallow, leaving countless afterimages in the air. In the next instant, a gust of wind was kicked up as he threw out his left fist, and then right. Blasts rolled out in all directions while the whole sky was filled with tremendous energy. After throwing out a few punches, Ming Shi Yin floated in midair and said, "Master, this is the one." Zhou was unmoving like old stone. "Do you dare to attack me?" he thought as he stared at Ming Shi Yin. Meanwhile, thousands of fists converged in the air and smashed toward one target. Boom! A blast of energy hit a cliff wall, causing boulders to tumble down the mountain with a rain of crushed stones. It was a powerful punch. Ming Shi Yin descended and landed on the ground. Behind him, it took a while for the rumble of the boulders to quiet down. "Master, can you please tell me the flaw in my punch?" If truth be told, Zhou saw nothing. He could not catch up with Ming Shi Yin's speed at all with his current cultivation base. It was too fast, as hundreds of punches were being thrown out in just 1 second. What guidance could he give? Zhou began to search in his memory. The fist style was indeed taught to Mingshi Yin by Ji Tiandao, and similar to cultivation technique, he did not teach the other the script of the last level. There was no problem with Mingshi Yin's fist style. It was just that it was not backed by the last set of scripts. Therefore, its power was greatly reduced. At the end of the day, it was a matter of choice. As the saying went, when disciples master the knowledge, their master would lose his job. Zhou thought for a moment, and then he said, "You have cultivated this fist style to perfection. I can see no problem." Old Fourth. Zhou walked over and raised his hand slightly, which made Mingshi Yin panic. Plop! Mingshi Yin dropped to his knees and said, I was wrong. I beg your pardon, master." Zhou stroked his beard as he sighed and said, "I have taught you how to cultivate, but I never taught you how to behave. You might be able to fool some kids with your little tricks, but how dare you use them on me?" "I was wrong. I dare not deceive master." Mingshi Yin kowtowed as cold sweat trickled down his cheeks, and a chill ran down his back. Master had seen it all. He thought that everything he had done with Zhu Honggong was learned by Zhou. Old Third. Zhou attached some energy in his voice. As he expected, Duanmu Xing drifted over from nearby. "Greetings, master. Since you are here, stand in the open and watch. Do you think I don't know that you were hiding in a corner? Please forgive me, master." Duanmu Xing dropped to his knees, as well with guilt filling his heart. As he looked at how the two disciples shivered in fear, Zhou realized in that moment that Ji Tiandao had planted seeds of horror in their hearts. After all, if they were common villains, they would have jumped up and fought back. "It is good that you have come, Old Third. Your junior brother has some questions about his fist style. You will help him find out the problem," said Zhou. Ding! A side quest is triggered. Discipline Mingshi Yin, executed by Duanmu Xing. Duanmu Xing nodded as he cupped his fist and said, "Yes, master. I will definitely help fourth junior brother find out the problem." He stood up and stared at Mingshi Yin, who looked miserable beside him. The latter felt like weeping, but he had no tears. Why does this happen to me? Could he refuse? Was there any room for him to refuse? He was no match for Duanmu Xing at all. Master is getting more and more cunning. In the past, he always beat us himself, but he has asked senior brother to beat me this time. Old Fourth, let's go. Ugh. Senior brother, be gentle on me. Peace returned as both men left the gazebo, where Zhou sat cross-legged down and continued to rest. Mingshi Yin finally became suspicious of me. At this rate, he will find excuses to fight with me sooner or later, and I'll be forced to waste a peak form experience card. Where there was a first time, there would be a second time. The reason that Ji Tiandao was able to reach a point where no one else could, in addition to his profound cultivation base, should be that he had obtained many trump cards in the system. That was what made his 9 disciples and the orthodox cultivators in the world afraid of him. Unfortunately, the only trump cards Zhou had at the moment were 2 peak form experience cards and nothing else. I have to think of a way to solve this before it gets worse. In the afternoon, little Yuaner returned to Golden Court Mountain and came to the gazebo to report. "Master." Zhou nodded and gestured her to sit opposite him. Little Yuaner sat down as she cupped her fists and said, "Master, I spent half a day at Tongzi Station and did get some information." "Tell me." After Master repelled the top 10 experts, the top 10 sects are all adjusting themselves, and it is said that they dare not take in any new disciples. Also, after Luo Chongfeng died, the Heavenly Sword sect plunged into internal strife, and their eldest disciple, Zhou Jifeng, left the sect. This was all expected by Zhou. Anything else? The other sects are well behaved. It's just that eldest senior brother and second senior brother, the sect leader of the Nether sect kept sending people to find out news about Golden Court Mountain. Little Yuaner stuck out her tongue. The sect leader of the Nether sect seems to be extremely wary of Master. Zhou snorted and said with a smile, "I taught him many things. which made him into the fearful sect leader of the Nether sect and gave him a peak-level, perfected cultivation base of the nascent divinity tribulation realm. Even so, he cannot touch me. Master is invincible. Liu Yuan bobbed her head repeatedly, still having a lingering fear at the thought of the scene when her master defeated the enemies. When Lu Zhou said those words, he deliberately raised his voice so that Duanmu Sheng and Mingshi Yin could hear as well. After all, these two disciples were most likely to grow suspicious of him. He needed to discipline them when necessary. "Stop currying favor like your senior brothers," said Lu Zhou. "Oh, what else have you heard?" Little Yuan began to give a detailed account of the news she heard. For example, whose house was burned down, whose dog was missing, and so on. Lu Zhou kept frowning as he listened. "Yuan." "Yes, master?" "You just need to tell me events that are important or related to the cultivation world." "Oh." Little Yuan thought for a moment, and then she began talking again. This time, there were all major events that happened recently, such as a sect in the cultivation world wiped out a country annexed by other countries because it was too weak, and some experts robbed and killed. It took her about 20 minutes to report everything. Lu Zhou could not help but be amazed by her memory. Although she was young, she had an incredible memory and great potential. Fortunately, she had not turned evil completely. Otherwise, Lu Zhou would have no one he could trust to help him. After listening to her report, Lu Zhou said, "Go get your senior brothers here." "Yes, master." Liu Yuan walked down the steps. "Ding! A side quest is completed. Discipline Mingshi Yin. You are rewarded with 200 merit points." Disciplining disciples was a long-term, arduous task. Lu Zhou got up and clasped his hands behind his back as he looked at the scenery outside the gazebo. He did not know whether this dimension travel was a blessing or a curse. If there were a tournament between dimension travelers to see who was more miserable, he believed that he should be the champion without a rival. Before very long, Little Yuan led Mingshi Yin and Duanmu Sheng into the gazebo. Master. Lu Zhou turned around and rested his eyes on the two disciples. He saw that Mingshi Yin's loyalty was still at 59%. It was plain that although the discipline just now had subdued him temporarily, he still had doubts about his master. Duanmu Sheng was slightly better. His loyalty was maintained at 65% and was rather stable. Only Little Yuan's loyalty had always been high, and Lu Zhou also trusted her more. "The reason I called you here is that I need you to do a few things for me." "Master, please tell us what you need, and we will devote ourselves entirely to complete the tasks." Duanmu Sheng bowed and said, "Zhou Jifeng has defected from the Heavenly Sword sect. You are responsible for tracking and investigating him. With his current status and position, he should have no trouble joining a new sect. When you have any news, report to me at once. Old Fourth." "Yes, master." "I'm giving you a rather special mission. In my life, I've committed many evils and taught 9 villainous disciples who shook the world. Because of that, I was reviled by the world. I want you to get rid of the scourge in our sect. Get rid of the scourge." That gave Mingshi Yin a fright. Hurriedly, he dropped to his knees and said, "Master, although my cultivation base is in the divine court realm, I'm far weaker than eldest senior brother Yu Zhenghai and second senior brother Yu Shangrong. In fact, I'm no match for even junior sister Qin Xin. She owns the amorous hoop, which is a heaven-grade treasure, and she has killed countless people. I'm afraid that she has already broken into the nascent divinity tribulation realm." He was speaking the truth. It was with the weapons they possessed and combined with their fearsome cultivation base that these disciples, who had defected from their master, were able to hold sway over the world, occupy a place of themselves, and become the evil villains whose names were heard all over the world. And the reason that Duanmu Sheng, Mingshi Yin, and Zhao Yu did not leave was that Ji Tiandao did not give them weapons and complete cultivation techniques. The eldest disciple, Yu Zhenghai, possessed a jasper saber, which was a heaven-grade treasure. At its maximum power, the saber could even break apart the avatar of the same realm as him. That was the nascent divinity tribulation realm. The second disciple, Yu Shangrong, possessed a longevity sword, which was also a heaven-grade treasure. It was said that with every person the sword slew, it gained a wisp of energy, making it stronger and stronger. And when he merged with it one day, he could even decipher the secret of immortality. The sixth disciple, Yi Qianxin, possessed the amorous hoop, which was also a heaven-grade treasure. She was Ji Qiandao's favorite disciple before little Yuaner joined the sect. When the third and fourth disciple had not been given any treasures, Ji Tiandao showed partiality to her and gave her the hoop. Today, Yi Qianxin was already the palace master of the derived Moon Palace. Mingshi was indeed too weak when compared with these three villainous disciples. Old Eight's cultivation base is only at the doubt-controlling stage of the divine court realm, while you are at the doubt-transforming stage. You will start with him, Zhou said faintly. Ah! The divine court realm was divided into three stages: doubt-shaping, doubt-controlling, and doubt-transforming, the last being the highest stage. His eighth disciple, Zhu Honggong, was only in the doubt-controlling stage of the divine court realm, and he did not possess any heaven-grade treasure. You have met with old Eighth not long ago, haven't you? Zhou asked. Yes, I did go to Tiger Ridge, but old Eighth is so stupid that I suspect he was coaxed into defecting from the sect by Seventh junior brother. He doesn't deserve to die. Silence descended onto the gazebo. Zhou did not say anything immediately, but turned his back to Mingshi. After a moment of silence, he slowly turned around and stared at the latter as he said in a voice devoid of emotion, "Come here." Master, Mingshi shuddered. He had no choice but to stand up and walk toward Zhou. As he walked, he grew nervous and he felt strength leaving his legs, until finally he came before Zhou. "Look me in the eye, Master." Mingshi Yin's heart beat faster, and his face turned red.